Oh my word. I hope we weren't going to re-gift that.
So twice in the past month, we've had this lower cabinet under this sink full of water, found water laying on the floor. First time I thought it was the supply lines. I replaced them. It was good for, what, 3 weeks, babe? Something like that?
Something like that.
And then this morning, I walked in. There was water on the floor again and water all under this area. So I got the fan, dried it up. This faucet has a real bad habit of this right here. That handle just falls. I think it's leaking because of that packing is loose, because I saw some water up here, and a lot of times this isn't sealed right. I'll show you how to do that. The first thing that we gotta do is shut off our water supply. We have a hot and we have a cold. It's pointing up towards it, that's on, and that's off. So same on the hot as well. So they're now both off. The next thing I like to do is just go in the middle, open up the valve, you take all the pressure off. Now I've got to unhook my supply lines. I'm going to take it off here and see if I can't get rid of this as well. You may or may not have extra supply lines like this. It's probably good to have a towel under here, but as wet as this has been here recently, I think it'd be fine. Probably thinks it's at the ocean.
How do you know the difference?
See those pipes?
Well, okay, that's a good question. So this is PEX, but PEX is not always blue and red. Sometimes PEX is white. My mother-in-law lived in a house where somebody put the hot on the right and the cold on the left.
It was so confusing.
The industry standard is cold on the right, hot on the left. But if you've been running it, you can grab a pipe and say, oh, that's warm, that's cold. It's a foolproof way. I don't know if you can see up here. Do you see that supply line is all kinds of kinked?
Mm-hmm.
I would normally not do that if I was keeping this, but being that I'm throwing this away, I don't care what that supply line does, but that will wreck a supply line.
What's all this extra stuff under the sink that most people probably don't have?
Okay, this is a reverse osmosis system between this tank and these filters. This is a garbage disposal. So some people will have that, some won't. But this is for highly filtering all of our drinking water.
So that stuff is not important to what we're doing today, right?
No, that stuff is all in the way, and I'm gonna see if I can't work around it and try to tuck it in, because the problem, especially with this much stuff in here, is this line right here, which goes to your sprayer. So if I pull the sprayer, that's the line that comes up.
Ooh, show us again. Ah.
So we have to make sure that that line doesn't have anything stopping it from raising. I've seen that before where somebody installed it and ran a supply line straight through one of those, and you can only pull the sprayer out about that far.
No good. It's taken us 5 minutes to get this far, so clearly we're not in a hurry.
No. This is not a slow thing. I'm just taking time to explain. You coming in? Let me get you a light.
We want to see everything.
Okay, so this one is actually a single hole. If it was a 3-hole, you would see 3 holes. Single hole is the newer style, 3-hole is the older style.
Uh-oh, he's brought out his knife.
All right. Let me get a screwdriver. I think I have to pop that off to get this one off.
Okay. There's some grunting and some struggle, so this will not always be an easy task.
No, and when...
But here in Rooster's garage, or the hen's kitchen, we like to keep it real for you. Oh my word. I hope we weren't going to re-gift that.
No.
The most intense episode of Rooster's Garage. Dun, dun, dun.
Well, this is just what happens when I'm trying to get to something and I got something stopping me.
Oh my.
I do not like it when stuff is stopping you.
Don't.
I'm just snapping this in half.
He's gonna go full force Hulk on it here in just a minute.
5 piece.
Well, I'm trying to see how this thing comes apart. There's 2 nuts on the bottom. Well, not even nuts. There's 2 things on the bottom. And I'm trying to get an idea how this goes together. This is not the recommended way by any means.
By any means necessary.
That's where we're at. We thought it might.
Whoa! What you guys didn't feel at home was the water that just squirted on my feet. Oh, me.
Mom, you did what you said. You went all Hulk on it.
Oh, me.
Well, it's like this has to come off.
It's about to get ugly, folks. You had to bring out the big tools. Oh, me.
Oh man.
Well, I'm still.
What we have here is an obstruction.
We do.
Who knew ripping apart a sink could be so exciting, Rooster? So do you think we're going to need new kitchen cabinets?
No.
Oh, darn.
Why?
Hold it. He hold it.
That's not coming out.
Oh.
So this unscrews from here.
Oh. I didn't even know that.
But then still stays in there.
It's probably been here with this house for 15 years. It's hard to let go.
Yeah.
Ow.
Can you hear it? Listen quietly. Listen carefully. I'll never let go, Jack. I'll never let go.
You're dark, but I love you. These 2. How do they come out? See, when you're a DIYer, you haven't seen all this weird stuff that the pros see.
You may call a guy?
No. She's almost out. But see, I'm struggling because I just don't have that experience of a pro who's seen the 40 bajillion different ways people decide to put a kitchen sink in a hole. Oh, sorry. Let me see if that gives me enough room.
Oh, yeah, we've got tiltage.
Yank it.
Hey,
Yank.
will you go under? Look at those little tabs and see if you can't work them in that hole.
What tabs?
Get up on
Probably want to lay on your back like Daddy did.
I'm tiny, so I don't have to.
Okay.
This is Little Rooster.
You see him?
I'm doing something to it. Let go for a second.
They can't come down. We got to see if we can fit them through the hole.
What if we just yank it?
Well, we can't. As much as I enjoy destruction.
I don't know.
Okay. Let's.
What if I did that and you did that?
I was gonna say let's flop.
Okay.
You get up there and I'll get down here and we'll see if we can meet in the middle.
Ooh. It's nasty inside.
Let me get my lighter. Alright, let me get situated. Oh, mercy sakes, land's alive and all that stuff.
On a side note, does anybody else's refrigerator look like ours? Just magnets and pictures and papers and all kinds of things everywhere? If it does, drop us a comment to let me know so that Matt quits telling me to clean it off.
Don't do a comment.
Alright, go.
Like, pull it?
Go.
Do you need help?
I don't.
Wiggle.
Oh, wiggle. I was about to.
Oh, got it.
Alright.
Success. Right here. Screwdriver.
Phillips.
Just
set it back in the sink.
That is not a Phillips. That would be a flathead.
Yep. I got it.
That's a flathead.
That'd be another flathead.
Those are pry bars.
Okay.
Or I could cut it.
Whatever you want to do.
Can I cut it?
Whatever you want to do.
You cut it?
Yeah.
I'll get you some snips.
What's happening now,
Do
fellas?
you know the name of these tools?
Oh, wire cutter.
He said wire cutters, and Rooster said no.
No.
Something to cut something.
It is. So the politically correct name is diagonal cut pliers. I thought you were a big tough man. Come on.
I ain't got no muscles.
Oh, you are puny and sick.
Yeah. See?
Here, you want to finish it off?
Okay.
No, really.
I'm beauty. I can't cut it.
Go on.
Wait.
Can you really not?
Squeeze.
It was in the very bottom. So I couldn't cut.
Whoa.
There you go. That right there is actually where our leak was.
Oh.
Yep.
Can we see it? What
No.
shows us?
It was all wet. So I
Oh.
think that's where it was shooting out, spraying the RO tank.
Oh, what a bummer. Now we get a pretty nice new faucet.
We do, and it's a single hole.
Yes.
So this is what I was saying. There's a single hole. This is for a 3-hole. So if you had 3 holes, you'd put that in each hole and drop that in.
We do not have 3 holes.
But this is a new style. This is what all the newer stuff is going to. I lived in an 80s house, and everything had 3 holes because you had your cold. Well, for you, it would be your cold and your hot. And then this was like the sprayer. Once they added the sprayer in there. But before that, it was a 4th hole that had a sprayer off to the side.
Complicated.
Very.
That is complicated.
There's a lot of truth in that.
Yeah.
All right, so before we mount this new one, the first thing we're gonna do is get that good and clean.
I was about to say.
I had a rag.
That is one of those, as much as I like to use a rag, I do not want to use a rag with that nastiness.
Purple power.
Purple power. She gets the non-full strength. I think hers is about 1/16. Look at that. You want that on a rag?
Ugh.
Exactly. And it's a good time to clean back here, where there's always a faucet and you can't really clean.
Oh, that is so nice. Thank you, honey.
You're welcome.
Handsome and thoughtful.
Hey, don't be getting you or sick.
Oh my gosh.
That's right. Oh my goodness, look at all of this, friends. This is a bag of complicated right here. Rooster's gonna explain it all to us, though. We'll know what to do here shortly.
Just look it up.
Be sure to explain all those things, she says, as I'm trying to figure them out myself.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
needed.
there may be some viewers like me who have no clue what to do with all of those things.
Well, okay, so
There's some directions here.
there's directions. The numbers on the picture don't match the text.
Oh.
Because I have a single hole, these I do not need. These are for this. So if you're going to retrofit a newer style faucet into an older one, you would obviously put these on underneath. This goes on top, sets down. Silicon all around here. Even though it's got a seal, still put silicon on it because you don't want water that gets up top going down in.
We sure don't.
No. So I'll put that aside. This is the lock for their supply. That's what that always is.
What's a supply? Like water supply?
For their sprayer.
Oh.
So their sprayer has a single line. So we'll have the hot and the cold that come up. So basically, the way it works in the single, you have your hot and your cold, and they mix right in here, and then it shoots straight down, hooks into this. This would hook in with that blue lock. Those would lock in, but first a weight gets put on that. So all of this gets fed down that single hole, and then basically everything is made underneath. There's a nut, should be this nut, goes right up on that, with this to kind of spread the load.
What is that?
It's a spread the load thingy jigger.
I ask a lot of questions.
You do ask a lot of questions. So I'm not sure why the tape. I'm gonna have to figure that out. But basically, feed your faucet, your main mix supply in. Run that in. That kind of wrangles all those supply lines and everything. Plus, this countertop would be right here. So this sandwiches it in, holds all those lines in, the nut goes up, and then it's got these two extra bolts in there. I'm not entirely sure what they're for, other than just to add a little extra pressure. I haven't done one of these fancy ones. I've done the old school.
Mama's bougie, but I'm not as bougie as I could have been because this was only, I think we spent $189 on this, and the one I really wanted was $309.
What?
And all you had to do was touch it, and the water would come on.
Ooh.
Yeah, but that means you got to add power to it as well.
Yeah.
Who wants power to your water?
Yeah, money talked to me.
Yeah. So
We're having to use Rooster's bonus to pay for this. No winch for him.
Yeah, I was gonna buy a winch.
He's just gotta take me.
You're not a winch.
True that.
So here's the directions. It's 1, 2, and 3 in 3 languages. But then you have 5. There's a 4 there. So it mentions a 4 in French. Oh, there it is. Ring tabs. This is a special tool for the nut.
Ah.
Which is awesome. So this is a Delta faucet. I love Delta because Deltas are a lot easier to work on. This is a new style, it may be different, but every Delta has that little piece right there. You can pop that out. There's a set screw back there. You can pull the handle off, and then you're looking at the packing nut and all the bits and pieces, which is like 6 pieces that make this thing work.
All right.
That's not me.
No.
Let's get this show on the road.
Do you know when
Rooster.
something bad happens?
No more
You
questions.
want to know?
No more questions.
Okay.
Mommy says no more questions.
But it wasn't a question.
What's our next step?
So I've got a little silicone sealer. If you were going to do this professionally, you would have some kitchen and bath caulk or some kitchen and bath silicone. This is automotive silicone.
Oh.
It's totally fine.
Good for the goose, it's good for the gander.
Silicone is silicone. I work on cars more than I work on houses.
But it's not.
So where do we get silicone? We can just go to Home Depot and get some?
Yep. Home Depot, Lowe's, Menards. If you're up north and you're lucky enough to have a Menards, which I love. Let me wipe my finger. By the way, I found out how they figure out hot and cold.
Ah. America.
So run all this in.
Look, my new pretty faucet.
Can get quite ugly.
Thanks, Rooster.
Okay, can you hold that?
Yeah.
Perfect. I'm gonna go under with this, and this, and this, and that's it for this trip.
So if all goes well, how many minutes until we have running water?
I'm gonna actually be able to pull out these supply line extensions because as you can see, these are going all the way down. So that's gonna be great. So it'll take a little longer just because of making this right.
Well, you still didn't say how many minutes.
I know.
How many minutes is longer?
Longer than it would have been. She loves my answers like that.
What, like the one I just said?
Yeah, she loves it when I answer by not answering.
Yeah.
After 15 years of marriage, I just roll my eyes and roll on.
Crap.
Uh-oh. That doesn't sound good.
Do you see that gap? It's because that is not notched. They sort of notched it, but didn't really.
Uh-oh.
Okay, so the install time just increased.
I'm calling a plumber.
Nope.
No, you have to call a cabinet maker.
I'm calling him too. Or her. Ladies can make cabinets. He says he can fix the problem with a hammer and a chisel.
I have beat these chisels. Do you see that end on that chisel?
My goodness, it's toothy.
This chisel has been through some stuff.
What's it about to go through now?
Some chiseling stuff.
So that piece that I just showed, I've got to notch that entire thing off. Where's my chisel?
You mean this?
Yeah. Why are you stealing my chisel?
I was chiseling this nut to my leg.
It's shake and bake, and he's helping.
Chisel the nut. You able to see anything?
Yeah.
Hard to believe you need this much clearance. If you're following along because you're going to do one of your own, verify the fitment before you add the sealer and all that.
That's right.
I just plain forgot because it's been 15 years since I've done a faucet.
Not only is my sink chiseled, so is Rooster.
No. 15 years ago I was chiseled. Today, no.
Dad bods are hot. It's okay.
Round two, and if it doesn't fit this time, it's gonna be dang close enough that it'll be all right. We'll make her hold.
How confident are you in your craftsmanship, sir?
Oh, we'll make her hold. I mean, if we don't, we might just break out the welder and make it work.
Oh, heavens.
All right, let me put that nut on right there.
Uh-oh. Some fell.
Dang, that was my nut. Looky there, looky there. Told you it'd work. Did you doubt me?
Absolutely not. You are the Rooster.
I wish I knew why they made those so dang long.
We're a little wobbly up here, Rooster.
I ain't worried about it.
I'm worried about it. I'm the one using it.
It's a little shake weight.
All right.
No, so this fits on here.
Now it's a party. What is here? What is that?
Okay, so this is the sprayer hose.
Oh, my favorite.
So, you know how when you let go of the sprayer, it all goes back?
Mm-hmm.
That's because it's got a weight on it, pulling it back.
Oh.
And
I never wondered how that worked, but that's brilliant.
this hooks up right here. Got two O-rings. Shove that in. And then we lock that in, and those two are married, never to come apart.
No.
Not accidentally, anyway.
It's love.
This is another reason to have an adjustable wrench, because you can grab one of these valves. That's what the flats are for on the side. So you can grab one of them, and when you loosen or tighten, you're not gonna mess up the plumbing or anything like that. Uh-oh. Look at what happened right there. Uh-oh. See that? You see what happened?
I saw it fell.
No, look right there.
You almost made a big mistake.
Oh, shoot. Almost made about 3. Let me take this off. See, look, I got that loop in the red loop.
Oh, no. After you just told us not to do that.
I did. But that is why you step back and you look at everything you've done to verify it's right before you call the job done. So that cold supply line is sure enough running right in the middle of it. I always like to dry off everything because that way if I see any water, I at least know it was dry when I finished. And it's an immediate thing. Now nothing is in the middle of anything else. It's very important, especially with the plastic valve when you're threading metal on the plastic. Make sure it starts correctly, because you can very easily rip all the threads off. So, moment of truth. Great. I don't see any water there. Don't see any water there. We'll continue to monitor for a week or so to make sure that was the problem. But
Fancy.
we'll always have a little bit of air. Oh, what is that?
Job well done.
Cute. And that is how easy it is to replace a kitchen faucet.